if you don't like to be told what to do, prison is the wrong place for you. Because they're going to tell you what to do. And you know what? You're going to do it. In San Quentin, when I first went to San Quentin, you could not have your hair but a certain length, over 2 inches. Nobody had mustaches or beards or none of that. And if the goon squad saw him in the morning going to church, says, hey, convict, you need to shave. If by the afternoon he's not shaved, they take him up to the death row cells and cut his hair off with sheep shears. Strap him down, he come back, blood everywhere. So you will mind. So when you're, oh, well, I don't like to be told what to do. Man, I've seen dudes that's supposed to be gangsters or was on the street that bragged they never had I never had a Social Security card. And they waking you up at 4:30. Officer, you didn't open my gate. I work in the kitchen. Let me out. I got to get to work. What? If you had did that on the street, you would have never went to prison. Wow. And 90% of us in prison, we didn't make over $1,000 in the crime that we committed. It wasn't in the feds getting no $200,000 and $300,000. $5, $10, $20 robberies, murders for no money at all. So now these kids are so terrible. When they go to prison, they mothers move, get out of the area, and don't leave a forwarding address for them. I done been in prison. Hey man, my mom, can you get my mom's new address? Like what?
If you don't have it, she don't want you to have it.
She don't want you to have it. So no, prison is easy. Now I was telling the lady, do you realize, and you talk about prison is so bad, it's less than 1% murder rate in prison every day. Ain't but a percentage of us commit bodily crimes. 90% of them, you'll go on, some dudes can go 5 and 6 years and never see a murder. How many did you see? So it's all that, prison, it's not, it's more vicious in youth authority, and kids are more vicious than grown men.
That's right.
I always hear that.
So you breed that from juvenile hall. I'm going to be a man, and you fighting this and you fighting, you get to prison, everybody's just trying to get along to get it on. So no, don't put no big glamour on. These dudes is crying like babies. This is some dudes I was in prison with, been in there 20 years, never seen the visitor room.
Wow. So when you look at Diddy going to prison, what do you think it'll be like for a Diddy in prison if you had to guess?
Well, one thing I can say about Puffy Combs going to prison, he black. And blacks adapt to anything. You know, if that had been a white Diddy in the MDC where he was first, he'd have been on suicide watch right then. But after 2 or 3 days, when you learn it ain't no boogeyman or you ain't getting out, you adjust. You know, I heard somebody was saying earlier that, he ain't got but 5 years. To a man like that, that's 500 years.
He got 50 months.
50 months.
And it's funny because, like I believe me and you talked about 50 months. 50 Cent.
I'm sorry.
He got 50 months. Really, when you look at that, it's a something else. Why would he give him 50 months? You do ask yourself.
T. Hustle, you grew up with Jam Master Jay, is the one told me about it. He said, man, you know what? You always said Puffy is the king of sloppy seconds. And you know, he took 50's girlfriend, and 50's girlfriend testified against him. And the judge ended up since 50 and he was getting back at you, he gave you 50 months. It's not often in the feds they give you 50, that's 4 years, 2 months.
So it's symbolic
they
to
give
50
you
Cent.
50 Cent, 50 months.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gon' talk, we gon' have fun. We be on fire, we be lit. It's a unique hustle, bitch. Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gon' talk, we gon' have fun. We be on fire, we be lit. It's a unique hustle.
Check it. This is Unique Hustle. It's your boy, ECO, and I'm here with the lovely, amazing official, Miss Jamaica. What's going on?
Nothing, I'm there, well gone. I want y'all to stop what you're doing right now. Go like, subscribe, follow us from all social media platforms. When I mean all, I mean all. I mean our Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat. You name it, we're on it. Just Google us, Boss Talk Podcast 101. We'll pop up first in line, I guarantee you. But y'all see us on the streets and talk about, man, I love what y'all doing. Keep up the good work. How can we be a part of Boss Talk? This is how you can be a part of Boss Talk. Under each and every interview, including this one right here in the description section below, there's a link that says join our membership. Click that link, follow all the instructions. That's how you get to see all the exclusive content. Y'all been asking us, where's this interview? Where's that interview? You got to be a member to see it. Or go ahead and download our app, Boss Talk 101, on any Apple or Google store. Thank you in advance, and we love you.
Hey, man, listen, man, guys, check it, man. We got a special guest in here today. He don't need no introduction. That's right. My guy's in the building one more time. One of the coldest niggas that you will ever bump into. If you in Bumpton, duck. It's going down. Boss Talk 101 welcomes OG Pyru. He's in the building.
In the house, we back.
You got an intro?
Yeah,
I gave that nigga an intro. God dang, I gave that nigga
Ayatollah Umar.
Ayatollah Umar.
Nobody know about that no more.
OG Pyru.
What the hell?
It's
Just
going
gave
down.
me another name.
OG, do you give a damn if LeBron James is retiring?
He ain't from Compton.
They just announced that he's out of there this year. It's over. I don't know what Bronny gonna do.
He's giving space for his son to excel.
He can't shoot worth the shit.
What?
He can't shoot worth the shit.
What?
He just announced it's gonna be his last year.
Ain't nobody asked you to talk. You just supposed to be sitting there listening.
That's right.
Nobody asked you to interject anything.
No, at all.
So
hollering from the behind the scene ain't gonna work.
This is Boss Talk 101 plus one that you hear in the background. This is our echo chamber, and we really don't need him. I really don't need him. You know, so we're trying to get him a job. Hey, Vlad, do you need a doorstop?
So really, seriously, wait a minute. When you look at, I'm gonna stay on LeBron for a second though. When you look at him retiring, they said he was the best to ever play the game of basketball. A lot of people say that. I beg to differ because I'm more of a really a Michael Jordan type guy, you know. But when it comes to character and the things that he's created and done in the league and the elementary, the school he opened, shout out to him. Opening a school, Dr. Umar couldn't get it done. You know, he actually played part and did some things that were phenomenal in his career.
In Cleveland, yes, he did.
Yeah, and so you just, you look at him, and he brought some championships to y'all, too. You know, out there in California.
He brought some championships to everywhere but Cleveland. That's why he got rid of Cleveland.
Did he not bring that in Cleveland?
He never
he did.
Never won a championship in Cleveland.
Damn.
That's why he went to Florida,
Miami.
He went to California. He couldn't do nothing. Cleveland had the sorriest teams on the planet.
Well, if he gone and could retire, if he could be pump faking, you know they do that in the rap game.
It's funny. They said that he's
teasing. Oh my goodness!
He's making an announcement that he might be retiring. It's the second. Remember, he did the first announcement when he said he was going to make.
Oh, this nigga lying. Well, sorry, people. He may not retire. We don't know. This nigga, I got a bad analyst in the back.
But you
don't know what the hell he
bring up conjure and gossip.
Yeah.
You didn't talk to LeBron.
I didn't talk to LeBron.
So now you got us all and built up.
Yeah, I thought the nigga was leaving, man.
I told you.
This Tuesday he's going to do the big announcement.
Oh, here we go. This nigga just guessing.
I told you, dealing with a plus one, all they supposed to do is open doors and take out the trash. You do not let them do any intellectual covenant. No, you're messing up every time.
OG, I got to ask you about this, and I know sometimes you don't like to speak on it, but since we're talking about schools, let's talk about Dr. Umar. Basically, he was going to open that school up. I think
Dr. Umar ain't going to open
Frederick
up
Douglass. He was going. He had an option. He was going to open it up, but he changed it. I think he ran out of money.
Jeremy spent the money on fat girls.
So it really is just. I think when you think about,
why are we wasting time talking about somebody that's imitating? He's the black shyster, and just not. It's no relevance to this dude at all.
So you don't believe that he ever had an intention on doing anything right by the school.
You know, they got a gang of good intentions in the graveyard. So a lot of people, before they died, they intended to do something. But it's not whether you intended to do it. Did you get it done? And he never got anything done.
So
he spent people's money.
Do you think he started off with good intentions that he probably wanted to do?
We all start off with good intentions, but money changes revolution.
Wow, that's heavy right there. When have you seen money change revolution before, Dr. Umar?
In every aspect, from the Black Panther Party to the Civil Rights Movement, how Abernathy and Bessie Jesse sold out Martin Luther King. Everybody gets sold out for cash, bro.
Wait, you're going to have to break that down, because I'm going to be honest with you. Martin Luther King...
To be honest? Yeah, you're going to be honest.
Martin Luther King didn't get sold out by his own... You
don't think so?
Explain how he got sold out by Jesse and Abernathy.
If you look at the history and the facts on the death of Martin Luther King, the people, because he was supposed to go to some people's house and stay. Jesse Jackson, Abernathy, and Andrew Young set him up in the Lorraine Hotel on the second floor in a strategic spot that he could get shot in. And in the history, when Martin Luther King got shot, supposedly Abernathy sat on his side. Instead of praying for him, he told him, Jesse, you're dying.
Or Martin, you dying.
Huh?
Martin, you dying.
Martin, you dying. Okay. So now, everybody that was involved in the death of Martin Luther King, because he was making too much pressure, and Andrew Young went into politics, became big in politics. They had promised Abernathy that he would replace Martin Luther King, but he was not orally or defiantly good in scripture. He was not well spoken. And he's the only one that was bitter. Jesse Jackson with Brett Basket, he elevated. Everybody profited that was around him, those three that was around him, on the day that he died. Everybody elevated themselves but Abernathy, and Abernathy was bitter about it until the day he died.
Wow. Do you think, okay, and you being a brother that can reach back into those times, it was a time when you had Malcolm X and the nation moving, and you had Martin Luther King, and did they ever try to work together?
Oh yeah, Martin Luther King had a sit down with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and after he sat down with the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, he changes his dialect. When you hear about the walk to Washington, people only hear the I have a dream. But do you know he said, I've come to Washington with a check that's bounced, and we came to collect. He didn't come there with a dream. He came there to cash in on the check. He said, y'all done lied to us. And this check bounced, and we come to collect. So when you understand his philosophy and changing, when instead of all the little black children, he was talking about the Vietnam War. Now he became a threat to America, not to black people. When you talk about Malcolm X, and they talk about Malcolm X, the Nation of Islam killing Malcolm X. When Malcolm X was with the Nation of Islam, he said the white man was the devil. They didn't mind, because they knew there was a devil, but they knew you wasn't going to believe it.
Wow.
But when he left the Nation of Islam, he said the ballad of the bullet. Dare to struggle, dare to win. That kind of technology came that he's telling Negroes to fight for their rights, right? So when he left the Nation of Islam, Malcolm X was not Malcolm X anymore. He changed his name to Malik El-Haj Shabazz. When you say Malik El-Haj Shabazz, 90% of Negroes don't know who that is, huh?
Right.
So the only way that you ascertain any validity to Malik El-Haj Shabazz, you got to call him Malcolm X. And when you call Malcolm X, it goes to the Nation of Islam, who taught him. You have no edifice in 2025 of a Malcolm X Foundation, of no liberation. You got a couple of streets named by him, but you have no edifice of Malcolm X or the Malcolm X Foundation. but the Nation of Islam is still standing strong. So money changes things.
Wow. Go ahead.
I had a question with
Let me first off say that's OG Pyru, man. That's why he be on the show. He gonna give it to you the way it's supposed to be given. Go ahead.
We had a guy came on the show not too long ago, right? Don Chief, and he said that it's easier, or should I say, I'm gonna play exactly what he said. Yeah, I'm gonna play what he said, and you tell me what you think about this statement, right?
Relate to you niggas talking about that jail. Nigga, I done did 40 years in the free world. Beat me.
That's hard.
Yeah, beat me. All that, like, y'all say, I be like, nigga, it's way harder to do this free world time.
That's
yeah,
real.
you niggas got 3 hot cots and, nah, worry about these bills. Nigga, when
I
mama
agree
died,
with it, 100%.
Nah, man, do that free world time. Talk to me about that free world.
Ain't that something though?
Yeah, everybody glorify the jails. I'm like, do that. Niggas ain't even been able to do that much time in the free world. I'm him.
That's hard. And the echo out that shit. The echo out what he said.
So you agree with him?
100%. I mean, going to prison is just like flunking the 3rd grade. You got a do-over. So, I mean, if I was as smart as I wouldn't have went to prison. But for somebody to be in the street every day and not snitched on nobody, not went bad, and to be on the street, that's a testimony. So, yeah, I agree with 40 years I've been on the street. Through all the struggles, through all the heartbreaks, and through everything, I lasted. I was too selfish in thinking about, I never thought about my family. I thought, what my mom gonna make? My mother used to come visit me when I didn't have a girlfriend. And I didn't value that until my mother, her death, and I started thinking what I put my mother through. But I never saw it then because I was on me. Whatever I did was all right. To hell with everybody else. That's not good. That's selfish. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? My mother graduated from Jackson State University. She was the queen of Elm Street. First time she had ever got on the freeway was to come to a prison to see me. She didn't have to do that in Compton. My dad took care of that. But when my turn came, I put her through stress from juvenile hall to YA to San Quentin. My mother ran for me and saved my life. She went to we were in prison. In an adjustment center on Stabbings, my mother would go to the warden and make them call, get on the phone. My son is not dead. Ain't nobody else in San Quentin done that. But me and my crime partner, Jesse, and our mother, like we was little boys. Wow. That saved our life. And he was like, man, yo, mama up here. She had the warden. I'm making sure she called the councilmen and everybody. Got my baby up here. And Mom, I just want to tell you, most of the shit they said I did it.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying?
Ain't that something?
So what you're saying to this, I got some of my friends that knew who they were going to marry when we was in elementary school. And they felt when it was time to do certain things, man, I can't do that. Because they love somebody more than they love themselves. And at the time, oh, that nigga Saul, he's scary. But I found out. Man, I remember one time, this girl, I used to like her in high school. I don't know whether she a man or a woman, but I used to like her, she liked me. And it was this guy, Edgar. Edgar liked her, and she's like, man, this boy, I'm like, bruh, this is my girlfriend. Leave her alone. Man, I just like her more than, so I go to prison. One day, I catch my case out of YN, I go to San Quentin. And I guess we're about 22 years old. She was writing me all the way from 17 until I was 22. And one day she wrote me. And it made me realize who the real gangsters, who the real men were. She said, Mar, I can't write you anymore. Remember that boy Edgar that used to be chasing me? He finally caught me.
Mm. Wow.
And we're getting married, he's in the service, and we're going to Germany. And when I sit in the cell in San Quentin, and I'm like, damn.
Broke your heart?
No, it didn't break my heart. But it made me realize I wasn't that cool. Mm-hmm. My day was over at 3 o'clock. His life was continued. What is it, Sam or Uncle Joe that says, woke up this morning and I saw a letter.
Early one morning when you were asleep.
Yes, go tell it.
I received a letter and there was no address.
Come on with it.
So I paid it no mind. In fact, I wanted to send it back.
What did it say?
But something that I was feeling said open it.
But I never want to see you again. How could you do this with my best friend?
No, I get it,
he
man.
He said, your life is ending. My life is just beginning. So when mine stops, somebody else is going. And I'm going to prison. When I get out, I got to start all over again. This man been doing the same thing, staying focused. So people tell, man, Marv, you got to test him for being stupid. And that's the whole kind. I can paint any kind of picture. I was going home. I was in youth authority. I was going home in 28 days. And I made a stupid decision. Well, man, I'm going to be down. And the person I did it for testified against me.
Wow.
And he had come in with a fresh 2 years. He had nothing to lose. I had everything, and I sacrificed it all on ego. And what did it get me?
So you totally agree with Big Chief that
man,
Chief that do all that time out in the world,
do 40 years on the street
and taking care of your mama, burying this person. That's what he talking about. The responsibilities of being out and being free is just something that's his flex. While others are saying, man, I was locked up for this long. But his flex is being out.
But Al D came on here and he said that it's harder in there because when you're dealing with, when you see, his reference was when you see what they give you as a tray, what you had to eat. And then sometimes, because he's also a Muslim, and he's like, what they give you for a Muslim tray, because the trays are different. Or sometimes you might not even get food to eat.
But again, this is a new dispensation. You got Muslims in prison that can qualify for a Muslim plate. When I was in prison, you got one plate. You either eat it or you didn't eat it.
So you had to, okay.
I ate so many peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in my life. I stopped eating meat, period. I was a vegetarian in prison because I didn't want to go through the meat hassle or the food hassle. So no, you wake up in the morning for bails. I was just talking to a girl yesterday about this very thing, about rehabilitation. Rehabilitation is taking you out of one situation and putting you into another situation. So now I deal with re-education with youngsters because I can't move you to Beverly Hills. You have to go back to your hood. But you have to go back to your hood with a different frame of mind. When you go to prison, everything is monitored. Everybody goes clockwise. Your whole life is clockwise. If you go counterclockwise, either you're getting killed or you killing somebody. So everything in your life, you wake up in the morning at 5 o'clock in the morning, you go to chow. You go at 11:30, 12 o'clock, you go to chow. You lock down. Then every Wednesday you turn all your dirty laundry in and you get fresh laundry. Every month you stand in a line and you get canteen. So your life is conformed for you. If you want a job, you can go to a job. You can go to school. You can do this. So all of this is consistent and laid out for you. Like you say, you just stick your tray out, food is there. When you get to home, you don't wake up till 9 o'clock in the morning. Here I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning by myself, sitting in the room. I don't smell chow because it ain't there unless I cook it, My clothes are not getting clean unless I go get them clean. Where am I going to get the money from? So now you used to give you $200, and $200 I done spent it the first couple of days. Now I'm broke. So now I'm too scared to steal, don't want to rob, don't want to kill. So what I do, I go back to prison. Recidivism rate. Man, I was out, man. I was doing this. You lying. You could not cope.
And you don't have to have money being sent to you and put on your books for you to survive in prison.
No, you don't. You can work and they get $1 a day or $1 something working. Negroes work in the kitchen and on the yard crew. Right now,
I think a lot of people who hate it are people who don't like to be told what to do.
Well, if you don't like to be told what to do, prison is the wrong place for you. Because they're going to tell you what to do. And you know what? You're going to do it. In San Quentin, when I first went to San Quentin, you could not have your hair but a certain length, over 2 inches. Nobody had mustaches or beards or none of that. And if the goon squad saw him in the morning going to church, says, hey, convict, you need to shave. If by the afternoon he's not shaved, they take him up to the death row cells and cut his hair off with sheep shears. Strap him down, he come back, blood everywhere. So you will mind. So when you're, oh, well, I don't like to be told what to do. Man, I've seen dudes that's supposed to be gangsters or was on the street that bragged they never had I never had a Social Security card. And they waking you up at 4:30. Officer, you didn't open my gate. I work in the kitchen. Let me out. I got to get to work. What? If you had did that on the street, you would have never went to prison. Wow. And 90% of us in prison, we didn't make over $1,000 in the crime that we committed. It wasn't in the feds getting no $200,000 and $300,000. $5, $10, $20 robberies, murders for no money at all. So now these kids are so terrible. When they go to prison, they mothers move, get out of the area, and don't leave a forwarded address for them. I done been in prison. Hey, man, my mom, can you get my mom's new address? Like, what?
If you don't have it, she don't want you to have it.
She don't want you to have it. So no, prison is easy. I was telling the lady, do you realize, and you talk about prison is so bad, it's less than 1% murder rate in prison every day. Ain't but a percentage of us commit bodily crimes. 90% of them, you'll go on, some dudes can go 5 and 6 years and never see a murder. How many did you see? So it's all that, prison, it's not, it's more vicious in youth authority, and kids are more vicious than grown men.
That's right.
I always hear that.
So you breed that from juvenile hall. I'm going to be a man, and you fighting this and you fighting. You get to prison, everybody's just trying to get along to get it on. So no, don't put no big glamour on. These dudes is crying like babies. This is some dudes I was in prison with, been in there 20 years, never seen the visitor room.
Wow. So when you look at Diddy going to prison, what do you think it'll be like for a Diddy in prison if you had to guess?
Well, one thing I can say about Puffy Combs going to prison, he black. And blacks adapt to anything. You know, if that had been a white Diddy in the MDC where he was first, he'd have been on suicide watch right then. But after 2 or 3 days, when you learn it ain't no boogeyman or you ain't getting out, you adjust. You know, I heard somebody was saying earlier, he ain't got but 5 years. To a man like that, that's 500 years.
He got 50 months.
50 months.
And it's funny because, like I believe me and you talked about 50 months. 50 Cent.
I'm sorry.
He got 50 months. Really, when you look at that, it's a something else. Why would he give him 50 months? You do ask yourself.
T. Hustle, you grew up with Jam Master Jay, is the one told me about it. He said, man, you know what? You always said Puffy is the king of sloppy seconds. And you know he took 50's girlfriend, and 50's girlfriend testified against him. And the judge ended up since 50 and he was getting back at you, he gave you 50 months. It's not often in the feds they give you 50, that's 4 years, 2 months.
So it's symbolic
they
to
give
50
you
Cent.
50 Cent, 50 months.
So, man, his kids, man, like I said, they say when Diddy received the 50 months, he broke down. He got down on his knees. He broke down in the chair. They showed him crying. It was a horrible experience.
That man didn't cry.
Yeah.
For 50 months?
Yes.
He should have been celebrating.
No, 50 months made him break down.
No, it didn't.
Yes, it did.
No, it didn't.
I got it on the thing. They drew it. He was crying like hell. Sometimes people are not able to deal with that pressure. That's a lot of pressure for a man who ain't never been in jail, never had no probation, never been in nothing.
Well, what it was, he was an illusionary. If he believed that team that he had, that it crossed him, that was the worst setup.
What's wrong with that team? He had Steel. You like Steel in the Young Thugger trial.
And they used Steel for one purpose, and he got a glorification on his resume that they brought him in just so he wouldn't get the RICO. He wasn't gonna get the RICO anyway. So Steel never said a word. He was there just posturing up. And Garagos's daughter, my goodness, he had a team of idiots. I don't even say, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed. Because first of all, Abalone, whatever his original attorney is. Now, Puffy was out of the country, safe out of the country. When they went into the houses, his attorney advised him, come in and talk to them. And he came back under his attorney and never saw a street again. Why would you come back to New York?
So you tell me you would have took off and ran?
I've done it. The hell you mean? Would have took off? Man, I mean, one time I had this attorney named Ron Minkin, and the judge told me in Torrance Court I had a PCP case, and the Judge Fredericks, he told me, like, if I come to court late one more time, that he was going to put me in custody, and I had a $150,000 bail. And I went up to I went up to San Francisco, and it was raining, and I came back, it was raining in Torrance, and I was late for court. Mm-hmm. My mother then was there, court started at 9, I got there about 10:30. So the bailiff's like, Kenzie, you're late. I said, man, my car got stuck in the rain. He said, well, where's your car? I said, the first car you see stuck is my car. So Judge Frederick, bow tie wearing judge, said, oh, Mr. Kinsey, you finally got here, huh? So my attorney leans over and says, hey, Marv, what the hell? The judge is mad as hell, bro. What are you going? I say, hey, I don't care what you do, Ron. If you got to suck his dick, bro, I am not going to jail today. So Your Honor, can I speak to you in camera for a minute? Yeah. It goes back to the back. I'm sitting there, my mother and my girlfriend, they sitting back. And so they back there about a half hour. And my attorney comes out. When he comes out of the judge's chamber and he's shaking his head like, so I'm like, so I start, I fall out the chair. The bailiff like, Kenzie, I said, man, I gotta go get some water. He said, you go. So I walked past my mom and gave her my car key. I said, somebody going to jail today, but not me. I go to LAX, I go to Houston, Texas, right? I get to Texas, I call Ron. Hey, Ron, Marv, where in the hell? You fucked me, man. You fucked me. I said, what do you mean, bruh? I said, you came out with shit. Man, I had an earache. I said, that was the wrong sign. He said, the judge was just going to hold you for an hour. Not me. They called me a year later. They came in the judge. Judge Fraser said, Mr. Kinsey, you ready now? Yeah, I can go to prison now. Yeah, catch and come before the hanging, bro.
Wow, that's crazy. I want to ask you this question because you should be able to give me some answers on this question, right? Back in the days, slavery days, right?
Oh, so I know about slavery.
I'm just saying, you closer to it than me.
Damn. Slavery days. Like me and Quentin Kennedy was bro dogs. Go on with your question. It's insulting ass life you got here, bro. Back in the days when you and Quentin Kennedy was, before he was Toby?
Yeah. So, okay. So every time I'm watching a movie or hearing about slavery in history books and all of that, I'm always hearing white folks, black folks, white folks, black folks. But in America, I know they talk about the Indians that you had before, and then, you know, the white folks came, stole the land and all of that. But where was Mexicans or Indians or any other Asians? Were any of these people slaves during that time, or was America only black and white?
No, it was slavery, but it only worked with Negroes. They tried to enslave the Indians. The Indians was smoking powder, kicking back. They the hell with you. It's not going down. Mexico was Mexico. They owned all of Texas and New Mexico and the last of the Alamo and Santa. They fled back to Mexico and did what they stayed across the border. They tried it. You look at Mexicans today, and Mexicans are such hard workers. Mm-hmm. When I grew up, it wasn't but two things that you knew a Mexican would say.
What?
Not my job, man, and I'm taking a siesta.
What's that? A
siesta is it's time for his nap, 12 o'clock.
Okay.
And he ain't doing nothing no more than he's supposed. Not my job, man.
Not his job.
Not my job. I don't do nothing. You know what I'm saying? So, Negroes, or those that, before Negroes, the slaves that came here, this is what the confusion of Christianity and about Jesus. That the slaves that came here, or the people that came here, they came on the good ship Jesus. And they said if they could just find Jesus, they could get back home. And the slave master took that into the Bible, biblically, and made you believe about some pie in the sky. And they was just looking for a boat. So right now, we're looking for the pie in the sky and not the boat.
Wow. Wow.
I'm trying to get it.
You ever heard the movie Amistad?
Yeah, I never watched it.
Okay, you need to watch 2 movies you need to watch that will bring your Jamaican intellect up to the Negro standards.
Okay.
It's Amistad
and
Mississippi Burning.
Okay.
Gene Hackman in Mississippi, he says some key things that every black need. And the third one is Enemy of the State with Will Smith.
I watched that one.
Those are the most prolific things. If blacks don't understand that part of life, Gene Hackman said something in Mississippi Burning. A Boston FBI asked him, Mr. Smith, how do these people think? Because he was born in Mississippi. Mm-hmm. And Gene Hackman says that his father was a sharecropper. And he had a friend named Abraham. And Abraham's father was a sharecropper too. Abraham was black. And he said that Abraham's father helped his father and they pushed the plow together. He ate at Abraham's house, Abraham ate at his house. Mm-hmm. And they worked together. And he said one day, Abraham's father bought a mule. And when he bought the mule, all the white men used to not get at his father, a nigga got a mule and you ain't got one. And he said later on, Abraham's father's mule came up dead. Mm. And so when the mule came up dead, Abraham's family moved out and they burnt the house up. And he said when he turned about 16, he said one Sunday morning, him and his father was on their way to church. And when he said he looked over at Abraham's house and he looked, and his father looked at him. And when he looked back at his father, he knew that his father had killed Abraham's father's mule. And his father turned to him and told him, if you ain't better than the nigga, son, who are you better than?
Man.
And everybody in the world sees if you ain't better than the nigga. A lady told me one time, they want our rhythm, but they don't want our blues.
Mm-hmm. Wow, they want our rhythm, but they don't want our blues.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it be. When I look at sometimes, and this is something I've been watching. I talked about it yesterday, and I didn't add you on the review. But Deion Sanders, he was limping because his feet is messing with him now. And I believe I asked you about it earlier, but I'm gonna ask you about it now. He just had that cancer. That cancer basically, he had he had a bag and everything. He showed all that. We talked about that.
Right.
Now weeks later, he come back. He's at a game. He's on the sideline. He's limping. His leg is hurting him, and he tells the media that the blood clots he believe he had blood clots. He's going to check today.
with the medication.
What do you think? First of all, is it time to sit down after all these and all the things he's accomplished, in your opinion, do you feel like when somebody goes through cancer or treatment like that, what do you think the steps would be for you if you had to deal with that situation?
Well,
I'll put it like that.
I don't know what he's been through. I don't follow sports. I know Deion Sanders, and I've made a lot of accomplishments.
Oh, he's huge.
And done a lot of stuff in college football and changed a lot of kids' lives.
That's right.
So that, I believe that. But in dealing with modern medicine, Western medicine, it's designed to kill you.
Wow.
Whenever they give you a medicine, it's always side effects. And why would I take something that has a side effect? I can cure one thing to mess something else up. So the cancer medicine that he's taking is causing the blood clots. If he goes natural, goes holistic, and get off of meats, get off of the things that he's doing that's contaminating his body, we do cayenne pepper and lemon juice. Do a cayenne pepper, it cleans out the arteries, it cleans out the circulatory system. Garlic cloves, thins the blood. People that have high blood pressure, you take those things and eat right. Man, we weren't made to eat red meat. We weren't made to eat meat. Donna Elijah Muhammad said how to eat to live. We eat to die. Well, the doctor said it was all right for me to eat a steak every now and then. You killing yourself. The contaminants in food right now. So he's doing all the wrong things to kill himself. And with all the money he got, he should have a world-renowned herbalist putting him. I had a failure to communicate with Compton police, and they broke 2 bones in my hand, broke my 2 fingers, dislocated my shoulder, broke 2 ribs, fractured 3 ribs, dislocated my shoulder, and flattened my 3rd and 4th vertebrae in my back.
Wow.
And sent me to prison. Right? I was bent over. I had to go to the shower and shower and I was walking over, hunched over for 2 years like an old man.
Wow. And
they told me unless I got a back operation, I would never be able to walk again. I got out of prison. Captain Shahid Muhammad sent me to Dr. Paul Goss. Dr. Goss is nobody out in Compton. He has a place in Arizona, Kingman, Arizona, called Eden. He gave me an iridology and looked in my eyes and told me what my toxin was. And he says, if you come with me and follow my instructions, I will heal you. I didn't have nothing to lose. I went to Kingman, Arizona, just like a woman have a baby. I ate raw for 9 months and took herbs. And the pellets in my back healed up. All my bones came back together. I got a little arthritis in my hand right here, but it'll work. Now I'm up, and as long as I stay on a regimen, I can tell when I didn't took too much toxins in, because when you take toxins in, it goes to the weakest part of your body. Your arthritis, when you eat too many tomatoes, you start feeling arthritis, and I can feel when I have to fast. We do better for our cars than we do for our bodies.
Wow.
You change the oil, you put the right gas in, but how many times do you fast? How many times you stop? Dude's been smoking, drinking, having oral sex for years, and just killing themselves. The scripture, those as Christians that believe in the Bible say, Leviticus say, do not eat of the swine, do not even touch his carcass, for you will surely die. Not that you may die later. Do not even touch his carcass, for you will surely die. That's a commandment in the Bible. Now before that, it says, when God's sons took man's daughters, now in the King James Version it said because they were fair, because they were pretty. But in the original Gothic text of the Bible, it's because she was pale, and that he saw giants being born. And he said that God's spirit could no longer dwell in man. And he cut man's life expectancy to 120 years. So if you have sex with the devil, you can live 120 years. So why are we dying at 60 and 70? Not what we do, it's what we eat. Huh?
That's real. That's real.
So
wow.
That to Dion, save yourself, bro.
So you think, and you really the holistic diet you're talking about is somewhat similar to what Dr. Sebi and all these guys, the herbal diet.
They all get it from Nana Elijah Muhammad, how to eat to live.
But you said tomatoes, it contributes to arthritis?
Yes. If you have the elasticity in tomatoes, it inflames arthritis.
So even like oranges too and all of that would do the same.
Citrus. But mainly tomato. The citrus in a tomato flames arthritis. And I got my hands, broke both of my wrists in some handcuffs having a fight with the police, and they stepped on them and broke my wrists. And so now this right here, I have arthritis. And as long as I'm and first I was taking herbs and it kept flaming up. And I love tomatoes. And Brother Abdullah told me, bro, you got to stop eating tomatoes. Stop eating. I love ketchup and tomatoes. And when I stop, the aching stop. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Is there any food you can eat that can help heal it?
Yes, it's a
like
lot.
Like
what? Cauliflower, broccoli. Most greens that got the minerals in there, it aids arthritis. Celery. There are a lot of herbs and vegetables enhances, gives you the vitamin B, the vitamin K that sterilizes, sedates that. But then there's certain things that you can eat that agitates it.
Wow, man, it's crazy how, like I said, Dion, his family, they've been by his side. They rock with him. Far as just all he rock with them. He done everything. I just feel like he, I think he need to look at some different resources as well.
They said we perish from lack of knowledge. You can have all of them people, and that's what's so sad about family. When something wrong with you, instead of me trying to give you a way out, I side with the doctor. Oh, yeah, you can do this. Oh, it's going to be all right. Do not take, that's why they say always get a second opinion. Get a third or fourth opinion. Try herbs. It can't do you any worse. There's no side effects to herbs.
Wow. I'm going to jump into, I'm going to move over a little bit. Gene Deal pretty much thinks that Diddy will be charged for Tupac's murder. Do you see Diddy being charged for that any kind of way?
No. Gene Deal just talking for likes and views. He ain't got a job.
So basically, it's just fishing.
Him and Suge just running their mouth right now.
Yeah, because Suge basically is talking about what Diddy should do upon receiving his time and all kind of stuff on these different podcasts. When you look at even Gene Deal and him been going back and forth, but when you see the legacy, back in the days when you guys was doing detail and before podcasting, nobody would have never heard these stories that they hearing now and the things that they're able to fathom or listen to, the deep, dark secrets. Does that hurt or help the culture moving into the future?
I mean, in the way we do it, it hurts our culture because before you didn't get news like this for 20 years. Now, but they didn't have anything about drive-bys or high-speed chases. It wasn't magnified. Right now, they say it on real time. So does real time assist you? So a lot of this is what back in the 50s and the 60s, even up to the 70s, when somebody would hear about a murder, then you would have a copycat murder. So it would take a while, but today, do it right here. You got a copycat murder tomorrow. You got a big thing going on in Houston right now. They don't know where it's coming from, but you got 15 bodies out of the bayou. How did this come like this? Is it one person or is it a dozen people? But everybody wants a part that got this natures, and I told you before, I worked in a psych hospital, and just knowing life, and you look at the full moon, the significance of the full moon. It's understood by us that the earth was part of the moon at one time. And since it was the lowest part, when the moon broke off, the water from the moon fell down and it went to the earth. And that's what makes our seas and our lakes and our oceans. And when the full moon has come, it's called high tide in the ocean. And that's the moon trying to pull back the water, the gravitation of the water, back to the moon, right? So in that, your body is 78% liquid. So if you're not thinking correctly during the full moon, that's why every scary picture, from the Wolfman to Count Dracula to Herman the Monster, it's always a full moon.
That's right.
The scary part, you don't see a half moon or a new moon, it's a full moon.
That's right.
The significance is insanity comes in the mental health facilities. They highly sedate patients during the full moon because that blood runs to their head. Homicidal maniacs get to thinking and they panicking. So you got people on the street that hasn't been diagnosed. And you look at a female sometime and you're like, wow, why is she tripping? Now her blood is flowing to her brain. And she's starting to spaz out on you. Like, man, where is this coming from?
Wow.
So you have to understand that in the world's makeup, we have to be conscious of our timing. And the things that happen with Puffy, the things that, it's all in timing and when these things happen. Now, he got sentenced, like I believe that he was going to get 11 years because he wanted to split. And the consciousness of what the judge was articulating, and when the memos he was writing, it was like nothing good for Puffy. But he got sentenced just before a full moon. And it was at low tide. So the judge gave him 50 months. We would never know. Now, if it had been in a full moon, the judge probably gave him 11 years.
Wow. Who's next, man? Who is the next one on the chopping block? I heard that they were they said that Jay-Z had this bunny, what's that, Bad Bunny?
Bad Bunny.
It's going to be performing at the Super Bowl, and Jay-Z, and pretty much he's the one organizing
but
that.
When it was first talked about, it was Howard Stern. What's the head of the commission name?
Roger Goodell.
Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell is the one said that we're having I didn't know who Bad Bunny was. Never heard of him before in my life. He's never performed in America. And his fame is internationally. He wears dresses. He's a cross-dresser. The music, I don't know what his music is like. He said he's Puerto Rican. And he was asked by a commentator about him. He said he would never perform in America because of ISIS. And that he said if he performed in America, that he feared that ICE would be at the concert and take his people away and deport them. So he would never, so then he said he's going to make an exception for America this one time. And he was going to bring on Drake, and he was going to perform at the Super Bowl. Now, the white commentator put it on Jay-Z and President Barack Obama.
Wow. It's funny how when you look at all of these guys, man, now, and you see how everything is rolling, it's never been, and I never seen it that way long time ago, where somebody had to be on the chopping block from the black community, like at all times.
Because right now, the master plan for white America is to de-escalate and dehumanize the black race. So any independent black or somebody that's trying to be a role model to black America is what J. Edgar Hoover said, we will not allow black messiah. We don't want nobody to say, we were on Warner Brothers, the artist Tony Hustle, and he had a record. It was a nice record. It's like, She's a Virgin Too. And he goes into this record and he talks about these girls that he see in these different positions with bikinis on, with this and that. But when he go to get them, they virgins.
Wow.
They not advertising like that. And so Tom Wally them had a conference one day and they were talking about the music and they said they don't want any music over a 4th grade understanding.
Wow.
For black people. We want you to be bitches and hoes and niggas and pros. As long as you have that room temperature IQ, you will be successful. It's how they just wiped, when Nas was Nostradamus, when he was Common Sense, Nubians, Grand Nubians, what happened to them guys?
Wow. Wow. You are, I have to ask you about gangs. I have to ask you about Bloods, Crips, Pyrus, Vice Lords, GDs, all of these. Have things changed? You seen it when it first started off. You seen it in the mid-spring of it. Now, in today's society, is it still the same as it's always been? Is it leveling off?
Ain't nothing the same. And cars ain't the same. They got electric cars. We had little electric cars. They made them whole cars. Like I say, from my inception, so let me give you my history because people wonder who I am and what. And like I said, I'm from Compton, California.
For sure.
And some white boys threw some eggs and tomatoes on me, and I started my first gang. We was the Blackjacks. I was 8 years old.
That's right.
My cousin told me, no, we're not no Blackjacks. Our neighborhood is treetops. All of our streets. In 1959, I became a treetop.
Was that before Pyru?
That was before all of that. So our neighborhood was treetops. It was the swamps. It was the front. It was the Bliss Boys. These were the gangs in Compton, the major gangs in Compton. As we call gangs, our neighborhoods, our cliques fought against each other. Then in 1964, I got into the Nation of Islam. I got into the Nation of Islam, but I was still from treetops. I go to juvenile hall in 1972. I was in Youth Authority. I caught a case in Youth Authority and sent me to San Quentin. I went to San Quentin. I couldn't be under the banner of the Nation of Islam because I had a contract on me from the Aryan Brotherhood and the Mexican Mafia. And everybody in Compton, when I got to San Quentin in 1973, were BGF, Black Guerrilla Family. And I came up under that and did my major moves, took over yards while I was incarcerated, put in major work, had honors in doing what I did with Field Marshal, with Chino, with Modestia, Death Row Jeff, through all of them, stayed on it. Young Marv was in that.
Wow.
And believed in the Black Guerrilla Family as a revolutionary cause for Black excellence. They hated Crips at that time. They wouldn't let no Crips in San Quentin. I could name the first Crip that came, but we ain't gonna name him. But it went to that. And in 1975, the Nation of Islam fell by a hypocrite that turned the Nation of Islam out and started Balanian, started being Orthodox Muslims. So when I came home, there was no structure in the Nation of Islam. So I went to the streets under Black Guerrilla Family. Instead of this revolution, these dudes was pimping and selling heroin. Like, I didn't come to the street for that. That wasn't what I came there for, right? So I started selling angel dust, started dealing with PCP, and the Pyru gang and Fruit Town My brother-in-law, they were the first ones selling PCP. We got to selling PCP. My brother, they changed treetops to cedar block, Pyrus. Then they moved them, so I became a Fruit Town Pyru. So people are saying, well, man, you say you from Elm. Elms are not Elm Street. Elm Street Pyrus are not Elm. When Herman Jr. them started Elms, they were Elms Lane on the east side. It was Elms Lane Pyrus. I said I'm from Nightmare on Elm Street. I never said I was from Elms Lane. Never said I was from the mob. But just because I've never killed a black don't make me not a gang member.
That's real. That's real.
So you got certain people that are exposed, well, man, this and where was you here and where was you there? Where were you? I've been here all my life doing just what I do, keeping the crime rate up. I've never killed a black. I've never snatched a black person's purse. I've never burglarized a house. All of my incidents been commercial.
Wow. And so, again, when you look at it from the start to now, what has been the biggest thing that you've seen change? Have any unification came through this?
No.
Have anybody set up some type of organization to help the communities to be better communities?
No.
That you know of?
That I know of. In California. So when you talk about the vice lords, gangster disciples, they came up under an organized structure. They came up under looking at Italians and how they were doing it on the East Coast and the Midwest. We didn't have those luxuries on the West Coast. The only gangster that we really had was a Jew named Mickey Cohen. And you didn't have privy to him and his guy. I knew him because I used to sell papers and shine shoes in front. He owned a building downtown L.A. on Los Angeles, where we was down in Kenyatta's building. Yeah. That's Mickey Cohen's building on 9th in Los Angeles. And I used to see him roll up in 1963 Lincolns with the gangster doors. Get out and they give us $4 and we like, who is that? That's Mickey Cohen. I didn't know who Mickey Cohen was until he died.
Wow.
You know, so we didn't have we grew up knowing Tootie Reese and those neighborhood gangsters. So we never had a structure. We started with the businessman, the Slausons, the rebel rousers, the gladiators, the outlaws. You know, Compton, we had our own section, but we never had a creation. Then they came with the Black Panther Party. Then they came with us, United Slaves. And they came with the revolution, and COINTELPRO knocked that down.
Wow.
So in the essence of everything, so you got 30 years of kids not having any structure from OGs, and they're taking it on. You tell, man, I've been doing this. You didn't get in the hood till 2000. How you been doing it?
Wow.
So everybody now think they're the first. Everybody's individualistic. It's my block. Instead of my organization, we say nothing's bigger than the P. Ain't nothing supposed to be bigger than the P. But now I'm from the 4 line, you from the Deuce line, he from Elm, he from Cedar block. He out of the 400 block, don't mess with the 2100 block. What the hell?
Wow. And like I said, it's just something to talk about because you guys never seen that spreading over the U.S. like it did in other countries. It's people in Korea. It's people everywhere.
Everywhere. I was just showing some dudes. I got some little homies out of the Philippines. Shout out to DIDDY them, you know. But it's incinerated, and it caused a cancer. And in Compton, we never profited from it. It started on Pyru Street. Nobody patent Pyru. Nobody's getting residuals from this. White America, but now they used to steal blacks' music. Went over to London and they start playing our music. But when you start doing it, they call it pirated music. They make a law against it.
Wow, ain't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy because you when you think about it, what happened with all the organizations, the one who benefited from them the most was the police.
Everybody but
the
us.
city, the jails, the prisons.
Right.
Everybody benefited from it.
But us.
But it's something that was started within. Yeah. Wow. That's crazy when you really think about it.
Crazy. But we followed a script. Now, you can look at the gangs and say what they profit and how they got manipulated and from prisons to crime, crash. I remember when I called my case in youth authority, and we were going back and forth to court, and the police hated us, right? And just because we were doing something to a white boy, and so we were fighting the police. And one day we were going to court, and this police say, "Kenzie, man, you know what? I just thought about it, and I don't know why we having a problem." He said, "Man, all the overtime I just been getting off of y'all in the last 9 months, I done bought me a boat. Me and my wife done went to Hawaii, right?" And it's 8 of us at that time going back and forth to court. He took us, it's the first time I'd ever seen an In-N-Out burger.
He took y'all to In-N-Out?
And he took us to In-N-Out burger, and every day we go to court, he would take us through Foothill. This is in San Bernardino. He would take us to Foothill 6 o'clock in the morning so we could go by the high school and see girls.
Damn.
You know, and like they whole crew started like, "Man, you know what? We don't want this trial to be over. We making money off of y'all."
Wow.
You know, and they used to give us sack lunches. And since I didn't eat meat and this and this and that, they started bringing us Swanson TV dinners to court, right? And so like, they understood our value when we didn't.
Wow.
And the whole world does. And you look at the concept, we've been here, and I say this over and over again, that it will get into black people's head. We've been here since the landing of the Plymouth Rock. We've been in every war. We've fought in every battle white America have had. We've lost lives. We've shed blood. We've suffered. And out of 50 states, out of 600 years, we ain't got one. That's bad economics.
Wow, guys, that's OG Pyru. Man, thank you so much, OG, man. How can people get a hold of you? I know we do this all the time.
Man, you can get a hold of me through Boss Talk 101.
Man.
Hit Boss Talk 101.
It's going down.
Ayatollah Marvin Kinsey on Facebook.
They can go in the app and they can hit you direct.
Oh, they can hit me direct on the app.
That's right.
Get the app, or you can meet me on Rosecrans. Rosecrans is Central. I'm there every day.
Man, thank you so much for coming on the show, man. We love you, big dog. Man, you my brother forever, man.
Man, look
and
here.
I appreciate you, man. Yeah. And it's been another great segment, right? A Boss Talk 101.
Bosses talk.
Well, the bosses talk.
And
the bosses talk.
Yeah, we on Boss Talk 101. Yeah, we gon' talk, we gon' have fun. We be on fire, we be lit. It's a unique hustle, big